Yeah, this is just burning off manure. It's probably not good to breathe in, but it's...
I also own a farm.
Here we go. You're now watching the 2024 season of Farming with Duffy Ag. Welcome back to the channel. So this morning we have got the rain that they had said. It's supposed to keep raining. We have, I don't know when that was last emptied, but I don't think we had any rain in it. So we've had 1.25 inches, almost 1.5 inches of rain so far. Pretty nasty inside of it, but yeah, they weren't wrong. We got puddles in the driveway everywhere. Robert's truck's still here. We're supposed to fix that today. We needed it. Yeah, we actually did get some moisture, so icy boots, don't forget to check them out. But what we're gonna do today, I'll get the top of the tank washed off quickly, and we are welding these manhole hatches in. So very excited to have these in instead of having any struggles to come. So appreciate you guys watching along. Clearly we got rained out from manure. We knew that yesterday. They said they were going to get 1 inch to 1.5 inches up there. I don't know what numbers we're at, but yeah, let's get this happening. Well, I didn't drain the tank out at the farm because I pulled out back and I said, well, I'm not parking, I'll just bring it home. And this is what happens. So open the valve, that's all sand. So we'll go ahead, turn the pump on for a second. Hopefully it will spin it out. I was wondering if we were hauling much sand or if it was mostly liquid, but sand settles out, plugs stuff up. That's why we run our valves quite a bit. But new setups worked. I don't think it actually. Uh-oh, this is no good. Because it doesn't want to turn it. So I guess that was heavier sand than I thought yesterday. I didn't really think it was, but oh yeah. So it's dried right out before we blow a hydraulic line or mess up the pump or. Well, I got a little bit of liquid in there. I was hoping to get it out, but you can see there's sand built up right around it from it sitting on the hill. Did not get it emptied. I'm going to take the pressure washer and blow into it and see if it will start leaking out. See, sand. And this is just the beginning of it for the fall. So I know there's going to be a bunch of people, well, they need to do something different with sand. We are the something different. Moving sand is what they pay you to do. So digging it out, then they'd be paying somebody else to do it. See how that works? But they hire the boat in, they agitate pits to move sand. That's the reason. I'm going to count that as a win. We're really not that wet, which is good. It is starting to rain. I wish the shop was clean and I could get in and out of stuff. I'm not really sure. I'm probably going to have to lift the welder up. Welding outside in the rain really isn't that much fun, but we threw everything back in the other morning. Or the other night so that I could get rolling. Let me see what I can do. Newest toy pulling in now. I'm excited. You guys excited? So I'm just doing a little bit of cleaning up in the shop, organizing some of these oils. realizing how much oil I really have in stock and how much used oil I just gotta get rid of. And everybody always says get a oil burner and whatnot. Maybe someday. I don't think we go through that much oil for waste oil. Yeah, we could ask other farms and stuff like that. Maybe someday. But new toys pulling in. Look at this thing. I'm pumped. Now we got a roadside mower. Weird that. Oh, they're gonna park it right in the house. It's the towns. They're just parking it because it's raining so much. Okay, little more organized than we were before. Give you the rundown. Well, we had all this used oil first off, which I got some. I don't have a ton. Scrap. That has to go on that. Yeah, snap trick didn't work. I didn't renew it. My bad. But then I had a bunch of containers that were just dirty, and I thought it was used oil, and they're actually like this was full. I had 2 containers that I didn't even know. Those are all empty containers. Yes, the hay's got to go somewhere at some point. We're working on that. So got some of it organized. There's some piles. We'll skip right over this. Like, there's a box full of random tools that we got to get organized at some point. 7520 parts, planer parts, 7520 top shaft, and rebuilt drive shaft after we had drive shaft failures once. But I don't have enough room on the shelves for that. So 7520, as you see, that it's pretty full. Oil filters, all sorts of stuff. So the stuff that was left in that box trailer, there was a bunch of stuff. A lot of it was the Kloss parts. So we literally have everything that we could imagine. Head gaskets, water pump seals. That is the shaft. Trying to think. That's the gear shaft for the upper, or for the blower housing. Gearbox, alternator, 2 spare tires. These are oil filters for the reservoir, air filters, slip clutches. Yeah, a lot of stuff. So we got some of it organized. We had lights. We had all sorts of stuff that was stacked up in the pile. Are we clean? No. Are we organized? Not really, but we're better. Definitely better. We got to sit down another rainy day and clean up all that. But where we're at, we got to get this truck in a good spot. So these are going on. We're going to cut out the one that I temporarily made there and messed around with, because this is going to take a spot, and then in between the other manhole and then the front, we'll put the other one. So all the hardware's in there. We got to weld those on, which means we got a plasma cut, and we got to lift the welder up, I think. I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna pull the truck in as far to this side as possible, and that way we can, if we need to, we'll use that pallet, we'll throw the welder on it and lift it up so that we can be in a good spot. But wash this down a little bit previously, made a mess. You wash it and then you come back and you're like, wow, it is still dirty. Wow. So as you can see, these are steel. They're rusting. They're not stainless steel, and they're not aluminum. But this is old. Well, this is what we built as a temporary thing, and it works so that I could get in there and everything else like that. And the goal of this is so that we never have to get back in this tank to wash anything out. So I'm going to put one right at the beginning using this existing hole plus a little bit more. So I'll go ahead and cut this around, flip that off, lay this out, mark it, and then we'll cut that, and then we'll put one. I'm thinking I got to do some digging. I'm thinking right there, because you can open the other one and you can spray water in through the boom boom return at the same time. So get the plasma cutter going and get it sorted out. As I was setting up here, I noticed something that made me wonder. So there's a tag over here on the other side because this is a military trailer. So it's got all the configure weight. And I never noticed, total empty weight is 13,000 pounds on this. Granted, we took some things off, but I don't think that counts because like in this picture, it doesn't have the pump that was on this. So if you don't know, this truck had a pump on it. We sold it. It had an Onan pump on it sitting right in the middle here. The trailer had it. This trailer was designed to fill aircrafts. That's what it was. So we did add some weight on the back, but not that much weight. But 13,000 pounds, it says. When we weighed this truck and trailer, it would have been this spring. I don't think I had any sand in me. I was empty, and we were like 36,000 pounds. So maybe the scale wasn't zeroed before we went on it. I don't know that, because that would put the truck at 23,000 pounds. I don't think it's that heavy. Alrighty, let me get up there and cut this. Yeah, this is just burning off manure. It's probably not good to breathe in, but it's not toxic manure. Tank's been sitting. We're cutting baffles open, so stuff is aired out since, when did we come back? Yesterday. So I'm not going in the tank. We're out here in fresh air, but we are taking precaution. These gutters look pretty good. I haven't really been up here. I guess my phone just started going off. But they came and got the tractor because it stopped raining, so they're gonna keep going with it. But where I'm thinking, so we got that one. I gotta look at the baffles. I believe a baffle's right here, so we'll probably go there, and then we'll go here. And then this has an open port now that we can flush in. We gotta figure a good way of sealing it. And then we got this one that can open up. So that came with it. As far as the tanker, I do flip it open and look in, make sure everything's draining, we're not building up with sand. But having two here will allow us to get through, because honestly, how this works is there was a baffle right about, let me see, right about here. There's a baffle, and then there's a baffle there, then there's a baffle there, and then I believe the other one's right here, and then there's one there, and then there's one there, and then there was a little half one in the back. So these were way too overbuilt. Well, for what they were doing, they were moving fuel. They weren't moving sand laden manure. But what I did was I notched both sides because this has a arch to it. So I notched out both sides so it could sit, so then we can do the outsides, and then that will sit down just a little bit. I haven't decided if I want to have the lids flip this way. That way a truck can come up on my right and dump in and not have the hatch either side of it. I'm thinking that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so we got it welded on there. Are we amazing at welding? No, but we're welding stainless to steel. Yes, you could switch out stuff that doesn't rust, but it's gonna rust at some point, one or the other. It's all gonna get painted. The back, we welded it the same way, and so far it's been pretty good. but had a little bit of water up in the front. Otherwise, we are on. And I started welding and I went, huh, I am not straight with these locks coming right down. But then I realized what I was working off of, so it's all level across. Leveled the trailer, leveled this, leveled crossways. It does look like it's got a slope, but this comes up a little bit over there. But what I was working off of was, when this lid flips open, having it perfectly square to the trailer. And as you see, when it got welded, well, one side is, they're not even. So that's why it looks like it's twisted some. Not the end of the world. It's gonna do pretty good. I'm gonna grab the other one, bring it up here, then we'll paint all this. I'm just gonna have to move the welder back to get to it. But like I said, I believe right here. We'll put a manhole here, and that gives us all the ports to work with. Yeah, a little bit of sand down on the bottom. Just swapping GoPro batteries for you guys. Remember these lights were going out? And I said, I gotta find some more supplies. They're cheap Chinese things, but when we moved everything in, found this bag. And in this bag, we had all sorts of other lights. These are the bigger lights, I believe 10-pack. But right here, made in China, of course. I got 2. So I think I got 2 or 3 that are bad. So I'll have to order some more of those. So that was a win. I knew I had the bags of them somewhere. I just couldn't. Well, I thought I had the bags of them somewhere. Probably threw them away. Robert's plug did come in for his pickup. So I actually ordered it off Amazon. Look, made in China as well. And it came, I ordered it the other day for him. Well, he found it and we ordered it. I told him what to look up. So I'm gonna have him wire that once it's done. He can pull it in the shop and I'll show him what to do. And then, yeah, I might put him to work. One thing I did find pretty comical, so this little piece of paper showed up today and it says, owners of certain Chevy and GM trucks can claim cash from $35 million settlement. And I was like, ooh, we're gonna make some money today. And so I'm sitting over here, and you got to remember that GMC Denali with the 6.6 in it does not have factory components in the motor any longer. The only thing factory is the block, and it has not had factory fuel system in a long time because CP4s have issues. So let me read the first thing. Plaintiffs claim that GM Motors years 11 to 16 Silverado, so that is LML, equipped with the 6.6 defective high pressure fuel injection pump known as a CP4 is that is unreasonably fragile and susceptible. I don't even know. Fragile and can cause catastrophic failure. Plaintiffs claim that the class truck has suffered economical damages, which is true. So when a CP3 or CP4 fails, which CP3s are tried and true trusted, they're in every year before that, along with other manufacturers. So that got converted back to a CP3, 10 millimeter CP3. It's got a lot of, ooh. If you purchased a truck in New York, California, Florida, Illinois, Iowa, Pennsylvania, Texas, we're right on. 30 million paid for that. 5 million who can no longer use their trucks due to CP3 failure. Oh, paid out of pocket. So if it failed, yeah, it never failed because we removed that part because we knew it was a failure point. Plus we put a lift pump on, which makes the CP4 a lot happier. If GM just put a lift pump on instead of causing, so the reason they fail is they're pulling fuel from the pump, from the tank, through the filter housing. And a CP4 is very fragile, as it says. And that fuel is actually under a vacuum pulling towards it. You put a lift pump in, it's actually pushing fuel through it. So, a lift pump on a diesel, yeah, I would recommend it. I know there's been a few people that said, you don't need to do that, but clearly, GM is paying $35 million in a class action lawsuit. We're not available for any of that funds. because ours have not failed because we did it right. Yeah, converting them back to a CP3 takes a lot of time. I would never do it again. I do it for myself. I never do it on anybody else's truck, since you got to pull the radiator, intercooler housing, the fan off so that you can get in to get the bolt behind the fan under the cover, which then has the, well, it's got the nut that pulls everything through. So it takes a little bit. One of the diesel manufacturing companies, they did a great YouTube video of it. So, but I found that interesting. Sorry, I went on a little tangent there. So we got the first cover on, and I switched GoPro batteries, and we're gonna get the rest. Okay, number 2 is in. This one's straight, so you can see. Oh, almost slid right off the roof. Glad that was there. You can see that this is right in the middle of that. So then all the other pieces are right. So I don't know. The hinge was off, and I didn't want the door looking like that. I'm hoping this works out. I haven't put one of these doors on yet. This is done, painted. It's been drying. We'll throw some primer on this in a minute, and then we can start assembling. So that is a lot better. And I was talking to Zach. I said eventually I'd like to get rid of this door, because yeah, it's about the same size as these. Problem is, you need 2 wrenches and then put them back together, and we have had it where it didn't seal and popped back off. So if I put another one there, and I think that the Hool tanker should use it, because at some point we are going to use that for more than just a little bit of work, hopefully. Depends what we're doing. But yeah, it's a big win. So we can get right in there, and we can open it up to ventilate if we have to get in there. But well, it's slightly drizzling, so our paint job's amazing. This one's kind of dry. Alrighty, we'll throw the lids, see exactly what the kits contain for the U-bolts. Or, I mean, not U-bolt. We'll see what the kits contain for the bolts. Get those up in there. Two bolts that hold the cover where it hinges. The pins, oh, I was gonna say, where are they? Oh, they're, we honestly just need, and make sure you lubricate these. Zach's giving us a good rundown of life on it. So we honestly just need wrenches to put those on. Everything else is mint. Okay, so bolt goes through, and then we got a whole bunch of other stuff. So I got 1 through so far, and yeah, that can get moved over a little bit. I hope that one not being lined up perfectly isn't going to be a pain. As far as the, I just thought about that. Okay. Well, let me get them all on, and we're going to find out sooner than later here. It is back to drizzling. We did just get the call and say, yes, we will be pumping manure tomorrow. So we got to, got stuff on my boot. We got to be up at 4 o'clock. So we'll get some things wrapped up here. Swing this around to the air can, and be good. Okay, got them both on. I will be honest, the lids themselves, which are built by National Vacuum Equipment, they're cast in a mold. The base itself, some of it lines up really well, some of it doesn't line up really well. Some are angled way out like this one, and then you got some that are straight, and I moved it around. Kind of a disappointment, especially when I waited 3 weeks for these to be back in stock, and then they're $650 per lid, per hatch. So if you're paying that, honestly, kind of disappointed, Diller. So it is what it is. I don't own anything else, Diller. I get it. So when I called, I bet they didn't send me, well, you would think it'd be all the same, but the fact that that one is offset a little bit, it worked, but a little disappointed. So I like the lid, but some of that, it is what it is. We will order another one, because that's the place to get them, to replace this one here. And then they definitely look a lot more professional, and they're a lot more functional than what we had going on. we can climb through them and everything else like that. But alrighty, let me back the truck up. Probably gonna wash the back side of it real quick since water's dripped down, change that brake can, and we will be done for the day. Robert was gonna come and do his pickup, but I think he's busy now. And I'm getting hungry, to be honest. Projects like this take a little longer than you think, especially when you're waiting on paint to dry so you don't touch it and make it a mess. But looks good. Well, last thing for the night. So I greased everything, adjusted the brakes, checked through everything. This air can has been leaking out of this seal for longer than it should have. And we got an air can. Well, we got one right there, one in the back of the truck. Kind of just common things. This is the original air can. Somebody did write in today's video about how this truck's just a money pit. Do you not know anything about trucking? I'm just curious, because some people are like, oh my god, it's a money pit. When trucking's good, it's good, and when it's bad, it's not so good. It's horrible, actually. But the good thing on this truck is it owes me zero. This trailer paid itself off in the first year and a half of life. Never mind now. So the truck, yeah, you got to wrench on things, but at the end of the day, it's really not that bad. Gives you guys content. But let me change this air can out quick and see where we can get to. I think it's a 50. Oh no, it's a 7/8. Oh, of course. So we got a brake can that is actually leaking in the gasket right here. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is assemble this one the same way. Get it cut down. And then throw it back together. So I have everything to go back in. Somebody always says, why do you take them off? Well, I think, no, that's got an insert piece. We put these 40 or 90s in on this side. And then we ended up putting 90s on the other side because if you get in not ideal situations, they will blow through these lines when it comes up. So that was part of building the tank. We didn't realize that, but we made it work. So the 90s make a big difference, but I got to make sure that actually looks pretty close. I think we're going to be okay. Well, we got it all back together. Got to slide it back in there. This is dripping, which is new. Granted, it's just liquid in it because, yeah. But slide it back in, put the pin through, clip, and where are the two bolts? Two bolts. Two nuts, washers, all that. Impact gun and all. And we will be, and then we gotta adjust it. But it's only 11 o'clock now. Okay, it is in there, looking good. And we're gonna air the truck up, well, trailer up, adjust the brake on that one, and be in a good spot. Grease the swivel, pull it out. Tomorrow's another day. Well, a quick project turns into it's bedtime. So appreciate you guys watching along, liking, subscribing, being part of the channel. Truck's ready to rock and roll. Trailer's pretty good too. Well, trailer's really good. See you guys on the next one. Have a good one.